Greetings, everyone. Today we're starting with the first episode in our Game of Thrones series. So we're going to be building the Python Instagram bot. You have already seen the introduction in the previous video, and today we're going to be starting it. Now, I do have some prerequisites before we actually do start, and I'm going to move this up here for some reason. Okay, I think that's good. I cannot switch tabs, so I'm going to change like this. Great. Now, the first thing that we want to do is to download a couple of stuff in order to set up the things. Now, do not worry about these links over there. I'm going to be setting them at either the pinned comment or in the description of the video. So check down below. The first thing that we want to do is to install Python. We're going to go to Python.org downloads. We're going to download the current version. In August, currently it's 3.10.6. You're going to download it, install it, and before we actually go any further, I want you to open the command prompt. So that's going to be cmd, open it, and here you can write just Python. This is going to be starting the Python interpreter, and if everything is up and running, you should get this console. As you can see, my version here is because I needed this earlier in my life. I've installed Python and I had 3.79. This was the earliest version back in the day, and today is going to be 3.106. When you're watching this after 1 year, you might get Python 4, for example. Do not worry about the versions, they do not matter that much because we have small releases and big releases. The small release is going to be 3.11, for example, and the big release is going to be, as you can see, Python 2.7, 3.10. So the left number is going to change. Python 4 is going to be a big release and probably it's going to have something different, but I'm going to show you how you can mitigate this problem. I'm going to show you how to handle all of the versions, so keep watching the video. Keep watching the video. All right, now when we have the Python interpreter, obviously we can write some Python code here. I can write print, I can go print hello, and this is going to print me everything that we can do in Python. We can do it here. 3 plus 3 is going to give us 6. So Python is up and running. It's all good. I'm going to exit and I'm going to close this link. Now, I'm going to close this link, and the next thing that we want to install is the Chrome driver because we're going to be using it with Selenium. Now, first of all, I want to explain what is it that we're actually going to be doing with Selenium. Selenium is a test software. Now, this means that if I click on this link over here, I'm going to see a change in my URL over here. It's going to retransfer me to another backend gate, and when we change the link, obviously the backend is going to show me a new page. If I click over here on Chrome driver 106, you're going to see that I'm opening a brand new URL, Chrome driver storage google apis.com, index.html, and the path is going to be the version that we actually clicked on. Now, this is going to retransfer me somewhere. Obviously, in order for me as a human being to be able to click on something, I need to visually see it. If I don't know where it is, I am not able to click on it. If they have something hidden over here, I do not know where it is, I'm not going to be able to click on it. That's why, in order for me to visually see it, I need to put it into a DOM. And if I put it into a DOM, Selenium can actually find it. Selenium is the software that's going to go and see what do you have in your page. So for example, I have a ref, I have a paragraph, I have, I don't know, a header one. It doesn't really matter. I do have these things in the DOM. Selenium can actually see them, go, and it can do stuff with them. It's not physically clicking on them, it's just putting stuff in the URL over here. Now, I'm going to press F12, and hopefully this doesn't stop my recording. F12 is going to give me the developer console, and I can click on elements over here, and I can actually, you can see that I can pick some random stuff, and as you can see, this here is a link. I'm going to press it, and you can see the HTML here. This is where we have found it. Obviously, you can find absolutely everything that you can visually see. You can also copy the JS path, the styles, the full XPath. XPath stands for XML path. Now, once we actually copy it, we can put it to a Selenium, and obviously we can then change stuff with it. In order for us to do that, however, we're going to be needing this Chrome driver. This you can install for Windows, Linux, Mac, everything that you want, everything that you're going to be using, of course. If you're going to be putting this on an iPad, actually no, it was Mac, right? I have an iPhone, but I don't have an Apple PC, so I don't know how it's called. Now, you can obviously install your operating system. You're going to be searching for here, and you're going to place it somewhere. This is very important. I, for example, placed it in G. My hard drives are called C and G. Yours are probably C and D. Just put it somewhere, remember where you put it, and that's going to be it. You're going to be closing that. The next thing that we're going to be needing to do is Visual Studio Code. We are going to be using for first time on this channel an ID, right? An environment. So we're going to be going with Visual Studio Code. I'm not going to be using PyCharm. I like Visual Studio Code because I'm using it for JavaScript and Node. And that's what I'm going to be using. Obviously, again, these links you don't need to copy. I'm just going to place them down below into the description or the linked comment. Go and install again for the operating system that you're using. Obviously, Linux, Mac, and Windows. I'm going to go with Windows. I'm going to be installing that. And that's pretty much it. That's what I'm going to do. Install that. And finally, we are having this. Now, let me just make it a little bit better looking because I have a bit problems with my recordings. All right, good. That should be actually pretty nice. So currently we're seeing Visual Studio Code. When we are in Visual Studio Code, we have the terminal, we have the console, we have you can actually name them here. It doesn't really matter. The first thing that I want to do is to go to Extension tab, and I want to install Python. As you can see, I have installed it here. This is going to give me the capability to write Python files and obviously have IntelliSense for them. IntelliSense means that if I go here and I create I don't know, Python file, I can write a dev func, and this is going to make the indents automatically. In C#, since we are programming in C# and JavaScript here, you know that we're using the curly brackets. In Python, we're not going to be using them. We're going to be using the 2 dots. That's going to be a bit weird, but that's what we're going to be using. And that's really the entire setup. The final part that we're going to be using is obviously this terminal over here with pip install. We need to install some Python packages, of course, but this is what we're going to do in the next video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned in the next one. We're going to be starting with the user interface. Bye.